Welcome back, folks. This time it's the classic Pitfighter. Never had this on the Lynx. Come on, mate, why are you not loading? Here we go. And it was a diabolical game on all platforms, but still very impressive. I still thought it was cool, and I think it kind of precursed God, that music. It was kind of like before Mortal Kombat, I guess, and it was the first game that used all the kind of digital sprites, like photographs made into characters. And it had a really awful palette, so it was really strange looking, as you can see. And I didn't realise the Lynx had such a good selection of games. I just saw there it had Desert Strike, which is pretty amazing. Let's have a go on Pitfighter. Like I say, I never had this. Well, I had it on the SNES, I think. Yeah. God, look at it. I mean, it's a bit jerky the way he moves and that. See that? Oh, I forgot that. You go out the ring and people haul you back in. Ah! But again, having this on a little handheld, obviously at the time would have been extremely exciting, even though it almost looks like a joke that someone's put together after the event, doesn't it? Because it's so stupid and ridiculous. And there's no skill by the looks of it. I mean, what do you do? Come on, you fat bugger. But yeah, it's still exciting. I mean, if we had Street Fighter 2 or something on the Lynx, it would have been a different story. I remember that actually came out on the PC Engine, the handheld one anyway, and both of them. That's the only handheld Street Fighter until, God, it's impossible, until the Game Boy Advance one, which I remember I bought Japanese import when I was working at British Telecom Glasgow, and I remember thinking, well, if I buy this, because it's like 65 quid, I have to, I can't go out for dinner. So I used to make my day better by going to a pub and having a proper pub lunch. And I thought, if I buy this game, I can't have the pub lunches for 8 weeks or something to make up for it, but it was worth it. Where was this forklift with all the money on? So I ended up just making chicken sandwiches at home, mayonnaise and chicken, and sitting by the bloody Clydeside next to loads of used condoms and horrible graffiti, and but it was worth. Oh, he's got the box. It's worth it because I had. Who's he fighting? He's fighting someone off the side. Genius. It's worth it because I had Street Fighter on the Game Boy and I was playing it to death. It seems such little money, you know, to be earning as a software engineer and stuff, but and ridiculous tactics I had to adopt, or I have to eat sandwiches, but those were tough times. Of course, I also had to rent out a football stadium and sit right in the middle where the kickoff spot is, with all of the floodlights turned on to max, just to be able to see any pixels at all on the Game Boy Advance screen. That was probably where my real money went. It's ironic that the Lynx was better visibility than the Game Boy Advance. Get down. Totally studly. Yeah, they were going for something. They had a cool style, and it's amazing that they made it so tiny and onto this platform. And arguably, it looks good. It's almost identical. I presume there's frames of animation missing, but it never really was the smoothest game in the box. Out of the box, smoothest game in the world. That's quite scary. Woman. Ah. There's a barrel over there and a chair you can pick up. It's just really a horrible button basher though, isn't it, at the end of the day? But without anything else around, it's still kind of cool. God, it's shit though to play. Get up! I'm just trying to pick something up and hide her. I'll just let her do it. I don't know if I can play this one for very long because it's absolutely unenjoyable But it's a curiosity, a curio, as the purists would say. Get up. And I had this obsession with games that you could carry around in your pocket, or almost carry around in your pocket. Portable games, there's something special about them. You can hide under your quilt at night time and play the Lynx with its backlit screen and everything. It's pretty exciting. Couldn't do that with a Game Boy. Had this obsession with the idea that you could hide under your quilt and play it at night when you're meant to be asleep and nobody's around, and you can just be like, yeah, I'm playing. I'm beating the crap out of loads of these women dressed in fetish wear. God, it's awful. You can stamp on them on the ground and stuff. That's good. Well, I barely feel like I'm actually playing it, to be honest. It might just be a rolling demo or something. No, I'm definitely playing it. Look, I'm running away in the most jerky fashion humanly possible. Do you press directions? Oh! I think you have to press the directions as well. Apologies for all the key slamming, because I know my keyboard is quite loud and right next to the mic. It's a Cooler Master one. It's not got the full micro switches, but all this Cherry MX nonsense. It's brutal. I'm surprised it didn't get banned or something, this. Kicking the crap out of people on the ground. Come on, you stupid girl. Is that a picture of her in the top right? Ugliest woman in the world. You can totally see where Mortal Kombat came from, assuming that this was actually first. I think it was only briefly first, if it was. But it's definitely an inspiration. Who's that coming out of the crowd? Go on! Awesomely done! Yeah, it's a dark, brutal, pixelated, jerky adventure in the underbelly of street fighting. But I mean, that's pretty good if you can say all that about a bloody Atari Lynx game. Look at that! Somehow that hurts him, me just pressing down on his knee. Maybe he's some sort of chiropractor and he knows all the weak spots. Ah! Kicking him when he's down, yeah! Go on, mate, you're soft, you. There's even pixels of, like, I don't know what it is, sweat or spittle coming out. You see the white little dots? Maybe it was meant to be blood, but they just changed it to white because Atari were like, oh. No, but there was a massive splash of blood there, right? Go on! Oh, he's coming back hard. It's quite funny, the camera seems to bounce too, which is... Shit, am I dead? No! Which is quite an interesting feature. End of game. Yeah, it's dark. Is that it? End of game. You just have to reboot your Lynx or something. That's pretty weak. Yeah, that's it, mate. I think you do have to, like, reset. It's pretty lazy development, isn't it, when people do things like that? That's the sort of thing I would have done when I was 15. But this is a fully fledged game from like Midway or something. Pitfighter, the ultimate competition. Well, because it's done that, bugger it, I'll give it one more go. I'm not sure why though, because it's a bit shit, really. It's a sort of game you buy and you have for a few days and then you get rid of. 92. Yeah, I think that was before. We'll try someone else. I think that was before Mortal Kombat, but not that much before. Have I just picked the same bloke? Don't think so. The guy in the black mask, he's scary. You see him on the full-sized versions of this. Go on, better it now. You press right while you're doing it, you can attack them better, and you can kick them when they're down. And look at that. Ooh. Yeah, I like the little particles that come off people. Like blood sport style sweat and spit and tears. Well, there won't be no tears in this because crowd would just kick the crap out of you for being a pussy. Get your ass over here. Oh, that's where it came from? Get over here. God, it's kind of tough to bring this sort of game to a D-pad with 4 buttons. Well, I was going to say that, but the SNES Street Fighter, didn't it? And you can see me complete Street Fighter and Street Fighter 2 on various platforms on Coopersmith TV, which is another channel of mine where me and my friend play games exactly like this. You might have even seen it if you look up this sort of stuff regularly. But we try and be a bit funnier, and we try and edit them up a bit more, and there's 2 of us. So if you... Yeah! Yeah, that's me. If you are looking for other stuff, look up Coopersmith TV. And we have lots of old retro games on there. PC and Spectrum. It's not out yet though, by the way. So if you're watching this in 2017, Coopersmith TV doesn't actually exist yet. We're still collecting, awesomely done, and editing and doing stuff. But coming soon. So if you're watching it, 6 months later than when I recorded it, chances are Coopersmith TV is alive and well. And we even have a Viking Raiders tournament on there, which is a Spectrum game, and we play. There's over 100 hours of a tournament, 2 tournaments. We really know how to have fun, us 2. Come on, bitch. Is that politically correct? Then, now, ever? Why all the women always have to have lingerie on? Saw a thing on Facebook today, which was like, it was yesterday, how men would look if they were dressed like female characters in games. And it was, it's loads of skin tight stuff, loads of showing off his body, and just like a white thing wrapped around his cock, hanging down, no underpants, dangling. And it's true. We need some female game character designers to do stuff like that. Get their own back. Oh, headbutter there. Grab that and headbutter. Am I hitting her on the ground now? Come on. Get your whip boot for the lads. Oh. There's a lot of talk about how the game industry is sexist, but actually, apart from artists who get horny whilst designing characters, and stupid 13-year-old boys who act like twats on behind a keyboard, I wouldn't say there was too much sexism going on. And I've worked in the industry, and nobody was disrespectful to women or anything like that. There wasn't many women around. Like, there was one Korean girl at Rockstar, Coda, and I guess there was a female coder at British Telecom. Not that that's a games company, although they did publish Viking Raiders and Firebrand software stuff. And at DC we had a female, wouldn't call her a producer, but CEO's right-hand man, secretary sort of thing. Oh, get down! I'm doing well now. So it's a very limited, button-bashing, horrible, tacticless, foolish game. Take that! I'll knock his teeth out. Some good ideas though. Oof! Woman in the crowd kicking you back out and stuff. Ah! Although she deserves a slap, really. Get in there. I'm totally studly. Oh, massive biceps when he does that. He didn't have them before, did he? Grudge match. Oh, I'm getting well into this. Am I hitting him there? I think I am, you know. Those things at the bottom, I don't know what they indicate. That flashing thing. That just amount of rounds won. Oh, he's tough though. Yeah, break that knee. He's not getting away. Totally studly. That's meant to be money, that green stuff. Piling up. See the brutality bonus? It's so obvious that Mortal Kombat basically took this and won. They say that pioneers die with arrows in their back, Meaning they do all the hard work and come up with all the ideas and then get, killed by the competition. And so they walked in and they were like, oh, Mortal Kombat's a good idea, Pitfighter's a good idea, but it was shit. Let's do exactly the same, but do it well. Oh, what's that stuff? Is that like a shuriken or something? I don't know, on the ground behind him. Get off! This guy's rock. You better get down, my friend. Oh, someone in the crowd chinning him for me. Oh, look at that. He held me up. I think he's going to win this one. Get off. Let us move. It's moments like this you can't even tell if you're really playing because I haven't actually been able to register any key presses or anything. I'm just lying there getting the absolute shite kicked out of us. Stuck in an infinite loop of him and her. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Nice long kicks on this stupid wrestler. Is he laughing? Well, yeah, it's an interesting game in the history of games. Get off! And an interesting one to come to. Ah! Our beloved Lynx. He's too hard! A swastika behind him. Oh, I think he's going to win. Oh, a bit of a comeback. Stop shoving us from behind, miss. You really got to hit them when they're down. Think, like that. Oh! Awesomely done. Kato, it sounds very Mortal Kombat. The whole thing it reeks. Also looks a bit like Mortal Kombat. Heavy metal. What does that mean? Come on, mate. Is that his name? And why the face in the corner never ever changed? The one on the top right. Shouldn't it be him? Get up! I don't get it. Look at him celebrating. Oh, I'm done. Gah! End of game. Well, actually that second game probably more enjoyable. And if you're on long caravan trips and car journeys, and could be a bit of fun. I think having to turn it off and on is a bit lazy, but whatever. That was Pitfighter, the ultimate competition on the Atari Lynx. Thanks for watching. That was a joke, that cough.